This is the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra, BCB, bringing you news, cultural, and educational programs. This is BCB, the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra. And here is a special announcement from the leadership of Biafra government in exile. This is BCB.
Welcome once again to this week's broadcast, coming to you every Sunday, 4 p.m. Biafra time. Very warm greetings to all our listeners, Biafrans and friends of Biafra, and all men and women of good conscience. The month of May is Biafra Remembrance Month, or Biafra Heroes Month if you like, or better still, Biafra Freedom Month. As we approach this year's May 30, the anniversary of Biafra independence, we in Biafra government in exile are filled with hope as well as expectation. I am persuaded to be positive and explore, as we march towards May 30, the best qualities of Biafra and Biafrans, especially in Igbo, all over the world, and in southeast and southern enclave of the present-day Nigeria. We are not only confronted by the real and present threats of extermination and marginalization, we are also faced with reputational damage threats. There is a concerted effort by the enemy to damage the reputation and character of Biafrans, particularly in Igbo, by fomenting all sorts of falsehood and carrying out unimaginable acts and crimes, either by undercover secret agents and by paid Fulani agents to commit crimes and then label Biafrans or Igbo for committing those crimes. The Nigerian government has invested billions of naira in lobbying foreign governments and organizations to convince them that Biafrans, especially Igbo, are troublemakers, are bad people, and we are violent people. But we are not. We must use every opportunity available to right the wrongs, to tell our story and reverse every damage done to our worldwide reputation as a people. We are a great people, and we are extremely valuable to the world in all aspects of social, political, economic, and technological advancement. We add value to humanity. The world needs to know unequivocally the mammoth impact Igbos and Biafrans have on the world stage. As the media continues to tarnish our image, we must, as a people, from now on report such feats as Professor Ugo Anieto, who discovered a new medicine, a new antibiotics, a great scientist, and antibiotics that will not be resistant to any ailment. So anywhere you go, you go and you find an Igbo man or Igbo woman, you find development, you find commerce, you find industry, you find duty, respect for constituted authority, decency, fear of God, ingenuity, healthy competition, fair play. The more reason why the pursuit of freedom and justice is important to us. We value freedom because from it comes fairness, justice, development, opportunity, creativity, competitiveness, humanity, effective and humane leadership. Whereas the peoples and nation of Biafra and their land and property find themselves under physical, sociological, political, and economic subjugation by the state of Nigeria since 1967, a state of occupation by Nigeria of Biafra. This has existed and continues to exist. Unwilling, though, to continue to live under such stifling servitude, while suffering such indignities as are inappropriate for human beings, determined to exercise the natural and legal rights to freedom and liberty, we, the people of the Federation of Biafra, resolve to actualize, renew, reaffirm, and continue with the Declaration of Biafra Independence of May 30, 1967, with all the implications thereof. In reaffirming the independence of Biafra, the peoples and nation of Biafra make neither war nor peace with the state or peoples of Nigeria. Rather, we exercise a natural right, a popular right, a political right, and a right supported by United Nations Organization Charter and international laws, the right of self-determination. In the certain realization that only the effective exercise of self-determination by the peoples and nation of Biafra will end the state of occupation and subjugation by Nigeria of Biafra. As we look forward to May 30, 2022, let us find moments to reflect on everything that is great and valuable that we bring to the world stage, from democracy to commerce, technology, leadership, apprenticeship, hard work, creative ventures, free enterprise, and respect for human dignity. Let me end by this quote from Thomas Jefferson, writing the American Declaration of Independence, said, and I quote, "When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with other, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to their separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." On the stroke of 12 noon on May 30, everywhere you may be on the planet, stand still, sit in quiet meditation and prayer for 2 minutes, and remember all those who made the ultimate sacrifice for us, from the pogrom to the genocide until date. The many Biafran men and women who have lost their lives to the Nigerian security forces, to Boko Haram, to bandits. From the rising of the sun until the morning, we will remember them. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to welcoming you again next Sunday. Share the link and get all Biafrans and friends of Biafra listening to us and supporting us. God bless you, and may God bless our nation, Biafra.
Fellow Biafrans, this is Rose Ama. We have come again to the end of our program for this weekend. In a few days, we will arrive at May 30th. It is Biafra Remembrance Day, or Biafra Memorial Day, or Biafra Day of Reflection, or Biafra Independence Day. For those who still believe that they are Biafrans, or who still consider themselves as Biafrans, this day is important. May is a very significant month. On May 30th, 1967, C. Odumegwu Ojukwu declared the sovereign state of Biafra. The pogroms carried out against Southeasterners, particularly Igbos, in the northern parts of Nigeria, were carried out beginning May 1966. We might say even earlier, but let's focus on May 1966. We know what happened. And so for us, a number of incidents intersect in the month of May. The pogroms, the declaration of the sovereign state of Biafra. As such, May is important to us. And so we have been reading excerpts from Biafra, selected speeches with journals of events by C. Odumegwu Ojukwu, focusing on May, his entries for May. We've read earlier excerpts, but we're reading these particular entries for May because we are looking at his reflections and all the things that were happening that would force us eventually to declare a sovereign state of Biafra at the end of May 1967. At this point, we are looking at his entries beginning May 21st, 1967. And I will read from this journal heading towards May 27th. Here are a few excerpts. We hope that these readings will give those people who have absolutely no history or do not understand the history of our struggle opportunity to understand this history and to reflect on what Biafra means to them. Why are we engaged in this struggle? And as many of you are now witnessing, especially as the events, the violence that many of our people are experiencing in Sokoto escalates, it begins to feel as if we are returned to 1966. Our people are being targeted again by Northerners who hate us. But let's hold off on that. We'll come back to that. For now, Here are entries from the journals of C. Odimegwu Ojukwu. May 21st, radio announcement by Gowon that his sanctions against the East will be lifted with effect from May 23rd, 1967, and a suggestion that the East should reciprocate by repealing the survival edicts and releasing railway rolling stocks in the region. News of a plan to repatriate students of Eastern Nigeria origin in the United States by the Lagos government. A cable from Washington says Eastern Nigeria students studying in overseas countries are faced with the unpleasant prospect of being repatriated and their scholarships withdrawn by the Lagos government. This is retaliatory act. May 23rd, 22nd to the 23rd, demonstrations by women in Aba urging me to dismiss Gowon's announcement of May 21st as another trick. Rallies by railway workers in Enugu asking Gowon to pay their, quote, arrears of salaries before the rolling stocks are released, unquote. The placards read, Gowon is putting the cart before the horse. If your purported lift of our blockade is not propaganda stunt, Gowon, pay us our salaries. Demonstrations by University of Nigeria students. In an open letter to me, they urge me to, quote, go ahead and not look back, unquote. The Nigeria Workers' Council describes the announcement as a tactical maneuver and belated move because, quote, it is a calculated attempt to deceive the outside world into believing that Gowon is making gestures for a settlement of the crisis, unquote. May 24th, more demand for separation. The demonstration spread to all provinces. Lagos government stops financial assistance to Niger Delta Development Board for capital projects, quote, until the position improves, unquote. Eastern Nigeria government, however, promises to help the board to tide over its difficulties. May 25th, demonstrations in Degema and Bonny against Lagos's withdrawal of financial assistance from Niger Delta Development Board and, quote, Gowon's continuation of northern tactics of using rivers people for politics, unquote. Rallies by workers of the Nigeria Ports Authority in Port Harcourt. In a resolution, they point to the withdrawal of capital from the Niger Delta Development Board as, quote, another evidence of the Lagos junta's abandonment of its responsibilities and reckless use of power, unquote. The resolution continues, quote, our government, my government, in parentheses, is not in tune with the mood of the people if it continues to display reluctance in acceding to the people's unanimous wish for the emergence of Eastern region as a separate sovereign republic, unquote. Workers and farmers in Abakaliki demonstrate and pass resolution, which inter alia reads, quote, are we human beings or trees? Only a tree stands when the forester hacks it with an axe. Gowon is hacking us with axes, unquote. Workers in Obudu, Ogoja, hold a rally. In their resolution, they declare, quote, we welcome our new provincial system and reject Gowon's COR state as mere propaganda, whereas it is now clear that we are no longer wanted in Nigeria. Be it here resolved that we ask our government to declare Eastern region an independent state, unquote. May 26th. In view of the mood of the people and intensification of economic provocations by Lagos, I summon a joint session of the Council of Elders and Chiefs and the Consultative Assembly to advise my government on the next line of action. Demonstrations by all the people of Enugu outside the Assembly Hall. The demonstrators carry placards calling on the Assembly to pull the Eastern region out of the Nigerian Federation. So I will end here for this entry. My people, as you can see, the people of the southeast of Eastern Nigeria, the people of the region that would eventually become Biafra, have concluded that they no longer want, as things are escalating, they were no longer interested, and I'm restating my comments, they were no longer interested in staying as part of Nigeria. They wanted their sovereignty. And as Ojukwu's entry tells us, the political machinations of Gowon deploying trickery, dividing the people of the Niger Delta area, Rivers State, and turning them against the other Biafrans, specifically Igbos. It's not a new trick. He's used this before. We continue to see the federal government of Nigeria, even today, doing that. I hope, my people, that you have learned. In the end, it is not the Northerners who suffer. It is those of us in the Southeast, if you prefer to be called a Southeasterner. It is the Biafrans who suffer. Think about it. 80% of the revenue of the entire country sits under the soil of the Southeast, of the Niger Delta, our ancestral lands, yet we do not benefit from that. We continue to be used as weapons against one another. I hope that you use this month and you use Biafra Remembrance Day or Biafra Memorial Day, May 30th, however you define it for yourself, to reflect. What is your role? Where do you stand? It is time to make a decision. I leave you with that thought. Peace. This is Rosama, and this is BCB. We hope you'll join us on May 30th for our program for Biafra Remembrance Day. We will return to Ojukwu's recording and Ojukwu's statement declaring the state of Biafra on that particular day. Thank you again for joining us. This is Rosama. Let's get wiser.
This is the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra, BCB, with the news summaries for the week. In the news this week, I'm the only presidential aspirant who can defend the interests of Igbos. Yes, Enrique. IPOB calls for peace in Imo State. Buhari's exclusion of the Southeast fueling insecurity, Tambuwal. Stay tuned for details coming up shortly.
From The Independent, I'm the only presidential aspirant who can defend the interest of Igbos. Nyesom Wike. Rivers State's Governor Nyesom Wike has told leaders and delegates of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Abia State to trust him as the only presidential aspirant who has the capacity to defend the interest of Ndibo. Governor Wike, who is also a presidential aspirant of the PDP, met with the leaders and the delegates of the party at Abia State Governor House in Umahi on Friday to solicit support ahead of the party's presidential primary this month. The Rivers State governor stated that he would not be the kind of leader who would be lost on the opportunity in public service to address the social injustice and other forms of unfair treatment that the people suffer in Nigeria. Governor Wike reiterated his belief in the restructuring of Nigeria and is determined to be the first to start the process to strengthen the sense of belonging among Nigerians. In our next news article, again from The Independent, IPOB calls for peace in Imo State. The indigenous people of Biafra has called on elder statesman Chief Emmanuel Iwanyangu and retiring Archbishop of Owerri Catholic Archdiocese Anthony Obinna, as well as Ohanaeze Ndigbo, to wade into rising insecurity in Imo State and save the state from further bloodshed. IPOB, in a statement by spokesperson Emmanuel Powerful, claimed that its M branch has discovered that politicians in the state were fueling the crisis in the state for political reasons. The group has also urged Governor Hope Uzodinma Rochas Okorocha, Emeka Ihedioha, and Senator Ifeanyi to settle their political rivalry to avert further security issues in the state. The fact remains that IPOB in ESN, states Emma Powerful, are not behind the insecurity in the eastern region because we cannot shed innocent blood of fellow Igbo person or Biafran citizens. This is disheartening. Insecurity is the handwork of some traitors and renegades who see politics as a career job, and we have discovered how they recruited external aggressors whom they use to murder their people and target political opponents at will. This problem is lingering in the region and particularly in Imo State and had spilled over to some parts of Anambra State because of political reasons and interest. We're calling on stakeholders in the eastern region, the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, and most especially key players in Imo State politics like Emeka Ihedioha and Senator Ifeanyi and Rochas Okorocha to make peace among themselves in order to stop the killing of our people because of political interest in the states. End quote. From the Punch Online, Buhari's exclusion of Southeast fueling insecurity, Tambawal. The governor of Sokoto State and presidential aspirant on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, Aminu Tambawal, on Friday said that the insecurity in the southeast was a result of the exclusion of the people of the zone from the regime of the president, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired. The governor, who spoke when he consulted the Imo State chapter of PDP on his presidential aspiration, said that his presidency, if elected, would quench insecurity in the zone by incorporating them into his administration. According to him, the people of the zone feel cheated that Buhari left them out in the scheme of things in his regime. He said Buhari has shortchanged the southeast. I was the one who advised Saraki to choose Ike Ekweremadu to become his deputy in 2015. There is a complete case of exclusion of the people of the southeast. The head of the 10 most important parastatals are not from the southeast, including the CBN governor. None of the service chiefs is from the southeast. The president, the vice president, the senate president, the deputy senate president, the speaker of the House of Representatives, and his deputies from the southeast. Under my watch, That can't happen. Every part of this country will be carried along. Southeast and Imo State in particular cannot be excluded. The PDP will win back Imo State when I become president. Igbo people are industrial. You will find a partner in me. We are working together with our brothers in Sokoto. We have restored normalcy now in Sokoto State. I will be a president for all Nigerians. That was a summary of the news headlines for the week. This is BCB, the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra. Thank you once again for listening.
In lieu of the ongoing hostilities against our people, the Igbos, vis-a-vis Biafrans, all over the world, particularly in the northern part of Nigeria, where our people are being traumatized, killed, goods worth billions of naira destroyed for no just cause, simply because of transferred aggression. There is a need in this topic today for us to discuss deeply concerning the homeland security and certain things involved. I am General Jelskin Miracle, your security consultant. Most times, a lot of people don't understand that after life itself, security is very important. Very, very important. I've come to understand that there's a need to continuously try to educate our people. And that is why today, I really want us to dive into what security is actually all about. What is security? Security means a state of being or feeling secure. The safety of a state or organization against criminal activity such as terrorism, armed robbery, kidnapping, etc., etc. Measures taken to ensure safety. Security can be defined as any measure taken with a view to protecting anything which is of interest to an individual, organization, government, like lives, money, and materials are usually the essential things a security officer is required to protect. Security of lives and properties has been a major issue to mankind since creation. Where there are more than one individual security problems, security problem becomes inevitable. Man is unique in creature with the natural urge to commit crime. In a society inhabited by people of diverse interests and needs, crime cannot be ruled out. The peculiar and complex nature of man differentiates him from other creatures, while the behavior of animal can be predicted and controlled with some degree of accuracy. The same cannot be said of human beings. Thus, there is therefore the need to always guard against the eventualities of the unpredictability of man. Thus, in every society, there is usually a set of rules, regulations, and laws designed to control the members of society. In spite of the laid down rules and regulations, some individuals still behave contrary to the laws, regulations, and other codes made available in order to secure lives. This is where the criminal justice system becomes relevant in order to deal with the erring persons. Despite well-meaning efforts of law, social workers, law enforcement agency, and criminal rehabilitation professionals, the world is becoming dangerous. That is why I would like to make us understand the need for security consciousness. Do not wait for disaster before becoming security conscious. A wise man is proactive while a fool is reactive. This is one of the reasons why our people are suffering. For instance, many that are still living in those volatile areas like the northern parts and all that. Listen to me, our people, the Igbo people. In the whole world, you are not two. You are unique race. The Biafrans are unique race. Biafra as a code name to identify us is just like a coat over the main body. Before we become Biafra, we are Igbos. And this is very important for us to understand why we must safeguard ourselves. It is not wise to look at a red flank, a volatile ground, just because of business interests or what profit you're going to make out of it. You destroy your life and your lifetime achievement by remaining in such a dangerous spot. It is not wise at all. Many of our people's lives that have been wasted over these years cannot equate whatever business or whatever money or pursuit of wealth that our people have been craving for cannot equate the number of wasted lives. And that is why I am encouraging our people, many who find themselves in volatile grounds where there's no progress, return home. In our homeland, there is still relative chance and peace for you to make life better for yourself. There is still need for us to help our Creator to prolong our life. Most of the deaths that our people incur or encounter along the journey of life is actually caused out of ignorance. Peace, law, and order are essential ingredients for stability and progress in any society. And when you are in a place and there is no peace, please leave. It is going to amount to a wasted effort if we do not find our way on time. And because of crime and antisocial behavior are unavoidable phenomenon in every society, security consciousness, on the other hand, becomes very essential. If you cannot prevent a bird from flying over your head, you cannot prevent it from nesting on your head. If crime cannot be eradicated totally, it can be prevented from assuming unimaginable and embarrassing proportion by you, the individual, helping yourself, becoming wiser, knowing what you're supposed to know, being conscious of your environment, knowing if that area you are presently residing, if it is progressive for you or volatile for you. I have taken time to talk to some of our people staying in volatile areas in the country, and the excuses many of them are giving me is very, very fallacious. And that is why I would rather tell us this day that we must help ourselves by helping God to help us fully in times of safeguarding our life first, our property, and every other vision. Remember, when you do not protect your life, you will not live to fulfill those visions and those aspiring goals of making greater wealth for your future. For the time being, I remain General Justin Miracle Egwotu until we come again next week. God bless every Igbo. God bless every Biafran. We will continue to remain resolute until our destiny is fulfilled. Bye for now.
This is the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra. Thank you for listening to us today. Join us next time for news, cultural, and educational programs. This is the Broadcasting Corporation of Biafra, BCB.
We